Good afternoon, everybody. This is Frankie here with an update on Hurricane Milton now. 85-mile-per-hour hurricane getting its act together across the west central part of the Gulf of Mexico and getting ready to slam into the west coast of Florida, anywhere between Tampa Bay area and Fort Myers. I'll be showing you some information on here that shows you the track, the spaghetti models, and the potential intensity, which could be very significant here. Right now, here's the updated forecast track. It does take it near Tampa or right over Tampa, but some of the forecasts are there's two forecast tracks I'll show you in a minute, but the importance of this cannot be stressed enough. It looks like we're going to get at least a Category 3 hurricane to hit between Tampa and Fort Myers there. That's where the most likely area for this storm to go is, and probably going to come in as a Category 3. But some of the other models indicate an even more intense storm. Possibly this thing may really explode, and extreme intensification possible into a Category 4 or 5 before landfall there. We do think there's going to be a little bit of wind shear to the north by the time this thing gets up there towards Tampa or Fort Myers or in between. That's going to weaken the storm just a tad, but we could still see a Category 3 or 4 at landfall. And whether or not this goes into Tampa Bay or Fort Myers, the southern part of the storm is where you're going to get all the storm surge. So if the storm goes north of Tampa, you're right in it. You're right in the worst case scenario, Tampa. But if the storm goes south of you, you are in the better case scenario. You'll still experience flooding, damaging winds, and power outages. And here we go with the two track areas. One favors just to the north of Fort Myers, and then the other one just to the north of Tampa Bay. So the number two, the second one there, would be the worst case scenario for Tampa. It's still the consensus is on both of these tracks, and you'll see that in a minute in the spaghetti models. There's kind of two concentrated areas of where all the models are forecasting the storm to go, and they both line up perfectly with number 1 and number 2. And I'll show you that right here. Look at that. See, you got all this conglomeration of model around the Tampa area. And then you also have a bunch of conglomeration around Fort Myers. So there's some discrepancies here on where this is going to go. And ultimately that will determine its impacts. Whether it's going to be further north, further south. This is going to cause major damage wherever it hits, within many tens of miles, hundreds of miles. Really, the whole central part of Florida, this thing's going to go across Florida and still be a hurricane out over the Atlantic. So even hurricane impacts are possible on the east coast of Florida. Not Category 3 or 4, but maybe still a Category 1 as it moves out into the Atlantic. So that's the update. That's really all I have for you guys right now. Right now, the consensus is between Tampa and Fort Myers, Florida for a landfall. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.